Tip T.I. Harris is in the building.
You did.
Homie, what's happening?
What's happening, bro?
Man.
This a busy man right here, Frank.
Dude,
busy man.
Boy,
Man,
you've been
enough.
top of news for like the past 2-3 months.
I intend to stay there.
Isn't it crazy though?
Yeah, I mean, it's a blessing.
You are definitely ready for it.
Thank you. It's a blessing.
So we got a lot to talk about.
Yes, sir.
So we just gonna cut the music out. We're gonna do everything.
Man.
But first, let's get into what you're here for, rhythm and
Okay.
flow. I want everybody to pay attention and listen very carefully.
Creativity doesn't have blueprints. These streets right below us. That's where we're gonna find the next hip-hop sensation.
Let the games begin.
This is hip-hop's first legit TV competition.
Gonna be litty like.
We're about to make music history.
Man, rhythm and flow.
Yeah.
Where'd that come from?
It was an opportunity that was presented to me by Jesse Collins
Okay.
and his production company, but John Legend, the other producers also involved. And when the opportunity presented itself, the first thing I told him was this type of a show has been tried and failed so many times because of a lack of authenticity. So I didn't want to be a part of it. If so, I mean, rather than just give me a generic answer, he said, "Okay, well, tell me what you think made the show fail." And we started going through things and checking boxes and all the things that I mentioned. I'm sure Chance and Cardi had the same conversations, but all the things that I thought that it took to make it a success, they made sure that that they made that it was present and available.
It's interesting you say that because when I first heard the trailer, something hit me because the trailer is so different from even the music that we're playing,
Right.
especially in Atlanta.
Right.
With the trap music that's coming out now. Like those guys on the trailer are like lyricists.
Sure. I mean, I think that was definitely and then the one thing is there was never a bogey. You know what I'm saying? Like in most of these competition shows, you have great, phenomenal talent, and then every now and again you had this one person that is supposed to be there, and they just have it there for entertainment. That didn't happen.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? This was a real solidified search, for the most talented, most capable, most well-rounded artists that we could present to the industry. And I think, I definitely believe we found it.
And y'all went to 4 different cities: New York, LA, Chicago, and then here.
Yeah.
Did you see or hear a different sound or vibe in every city that you went to? Because it sounded like Atlanta started to influence the whole country. Did you feel like when you went in these other cities?
Well, I feel like in every city, and now mind you, I combed through Atlanta, Chance combed through Chicago, and Cardi, she sorted through New York, and we met back up in LA. You know what I'm saying? I feel like there was a diverse, eclectic mix of of artistry in all the cities. You know what I mean? I don't think Atlanta just sounded like Atlanta. I think Atlanta, had different displays and different levels of a skill set here, as well as Chicago and New York, as well as LA. I think that music is a artistic source of expression, and everybody feels a different way because everybody have different upbringings. Everybody come from a different walk of life, so everybody's story was different. Everybody's motivations were different. It was just art, you dig, and I felt like it was our job to critique art and kind of present the best depiction.
Let me ask you a question. Would you or did you get some of the artists that have been like these new artists that are coming out of Atlanta? A lot of them get criticized for being mumble rappers, even though that's a skill within their own. Did you get that on your road journey through Atlanta?
No.
And that's what I was saying this morning when I talked to them. I was like, what would you do? Like,
What you mean?
I mean, right now, some of that music is what is on the radio
Well,
and
see-
killing it, and it's what's selling.
Well, see, listen, right? First of all, whatever y'all call it, mumble rap is nothing new.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Nobody understood what James Brown was saying. Nobody understood what ODB was saying a lot of the time.
Mm-hmm.
You dig what I'm saying? So I don't think that is anything new. It's an energy.
Okay.
If you can convey that energy with sounds and not words, and people can understand, because nobody can do what Young Thug does.
Right.
Nobody else can do that.
Right.
You dig what I'm saying? So that's a skill within itself.
Yeah.
Although I'm a wordsmith, I cannot do what Young Thug does.
Right.
So I would not discount his skill for observation of my own, because I know that there's a different skill set and a different, level of talent and ability that's required to execute both at the level that we both execute
Right.
what we do. So I mean, I try not to be too critical, you know what I'm saying? Because it's something for everybody, even if it ain't for me. You know what I'm saying? I feel that everybody, man, just you can't, for one, you shouldn't be trying to kind of put people in a box and make them be the way you think they should be to suit your personal preference.
In the music competitions, and you guys say this is not like the music competition. In the music competition, oftentimes personality exudes in those artists, which makes their delivery sound different.
Certainly.
Did you guys find that when you went around the country?
Absolutely, man. I think that now what we did find is some like exceptional characters. We found some exceptional characters with phenomenal stories, and ain't nothing like a star with a story. You know what I'm saying? Like, a star is gonna be a star no matter where he at. You can be working at Chick-fil-A. You walk in, you can tell that's a star. He's dumping fries like nobody else. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like you work at Walmart. Come down the aisle, light everybody day up. A star is a star, no matter what line of work they in, what they doing, or how much money they making. And if you have a star that has a story, and that is conveyed, and both of those things put together and conveyed and presented in the form of music, that's going to supersede anything. You know what I'm saying? So it's two things you can sell. You can sell a star with a story, sell exceptional talent. And every now and again, you just happen to get both.
There it is. So I want to let everybody know, 4 episodes tomorrow, 3 episodes on the 16th, 3 episodes on the 23rd.
Yeah.
We're talking about Rhythm and Flow. That is Netflix's first venture into the TV talent show terrain, with competitors doing it, battling like X Factor, Voice, American Idol, with Cardi B, Chance the Rapper, and of course, Tip T.I. Harris searching for the hip-hop best and undiscovered talent.
Indeed.
This is going to be good. So let me ask you
Thank
this.
you.
When you came home and said, I'm going to do this show, what did your son say? Because both of them are jumping into music. Did they want to get in it?
No, absolutely not.
No?
No, man. They think they already, you know what I mean? They wouldn't reduce
You know, I had to
themselves.
ask you, bro. I had
I'm just
to ask
saying,
you.
like, that's the thing. They again, a star with a story. You know what I'm saying? I feel like my children are stars in their own right. They all have their own kind of aura. You know what I mean? They possess a certain air. So they ain't never gonna group themselves in. They don't consider themselves in competition with anybody.
Right.
But themselves.
Right.
So I don't think they'd ever even put themselves in that position.
Well, we've been talking about these anonymous lists that pop up online, and congrats on the podcast expeditiously, man. I see it's been killing it, and you just actually put out your own list and did some explaining.
First of all, it wasn't my list. Okay, when the first list came out, the preposterous list that came out,
Yeah.
Trap Music Museum, the Trap Music, the staff, my colleagues, constituents, and family members at the Trap Music Museum decided to put together a list. And I got a phone call from my brother Doug, and he just asked me a couple questions. What you think about this? What you think about that? Not knowing that he was making a list. So he just asking me questions, and then he's putting my, you know what I'm saying, my input on the list. And then I think it might have been the first day we were recording, we were filming for Expeditiously. We didn't know what other topics to talk about. So after the Rick Ross episode, it was like, all right, everybody in here, let's go sit down and just talk about this list. Let's put our own list together. And so that's how that happened. You did. It made for a phenomenal podcast. You know what I'm saying? I think that, for one, I don't know how many of y'all, you know what I'm saying, like really went to school, but like right in grade school, elementary school, before 5th grade, we covered something called fact and opinion. Okay? Now, facts are indisputable. Can't dispute facts. Opinions, we can argue about all day. Okay, so everybody going back and forth, ain't nobody ever gonna make a list that everybody agree with. Nobody will ever make a list that everybody agree with, okay? So it's always gonna be somebody who disputes a certain artist in a certain position, in a certain time, in a certain place. And furthermore, all you artists, if it takes a list to define and validate you and make you feel like you are who you are, then you need to go to sleep and wake back up anyway. You know what I'm saying? I am who I am because I am who I am, and I was who I was before I became who I am today. You dig what I'm saying? Like, I have like a phenomenal sense of self, and can't no list validate that. I don't need nobody to tell me who I am. I don't need nobody to tell me what I mean. I don't need, not even in music. Because just doing music doesn't call upon all of my gifts, skills, talents, and ability. I'd be leaving a lot on the table if I only focused on music. So I believe, just like I said in the podcast, I believe people who only focus on music, they should be higher up on the list than me. You know what I'm saying? Like Lil Wayne dedicated his whole life to music. Put him up higher than me. I don't care. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Even the Atlanta list, you know, they put me number 2. I appreciate it, but I don't care.
Well, you know,
whoever feels like they should be there, scratch my name out, put your name up there, put me at number 50, and guess what? My life is the same.
Well, there was one person that said it best. I want you to listen.
My daddy don't care about no less.
You got all the confirmation right there. You don't need no more.
I mean,
you
for
got
real.
backup.
Play it one more time, Rich. Play it one more time.
Daddy don't care about no less.
My daddy don't care about no list.
Hey, listen, right? This is a quote, you know, that I learned, you know, when I was in the joint, and it stuck with me, man. It really did, man. And I implore others to take it and kind of listen and absorb it, because you can use it. If you live for the cheers, you will die by the boos. So no matter how much I'm celebrated, I'm still me. No matter how much I'm criticized, I'm still me.
Okay.
I don't need nobody's affirmation, confirmation, validation to make me me. King.
Okay. All right. So I got to ask you this question. Your thoughts when you stepped on Tyler Perry's grounds the other day?
Man, that was the most eclectic, diverse group of successful black men and women I've ever seen assembled. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm talking about, like, you know, it was they cast the widest net possible as far as success is concerned, in all areas, in all age groups, all demographics. You know what I'm saying? Entertainment, business, politics, film, television, music, sports. You know, it was. I mean, it was. They're gonna be talking about that 50 years from now. I'm just glad I was there.
You're no different, though, just in regards to what you've been able to accomplish over your career and what you've been able to grow it out to businesses and different aspects of entertainment.
Right.
What's next for you?
A continuation. You know what I mean? I mean, I think that what I really like, what I really love to do is just use my influence, my resources, to fill the void that exists in our community in different ways. You know, one of the things especially in Atlanta, is creating more affordable housing within the city limits. I've learned in my studies that 90% of the people who work in Atlanta can't afford to live here. I've seen communities be dismantled, and people who the natives who made these legendary communities what they were in Bankhead and Vine City, the Bluff, Kirkwood, Grant Park, Fourth Ward. You know what I'm saying? Like when prosperity came, they couldn't afford to stay. And they worked hard all their life, you know what I'm saying? Their grandparents and parents and great-grandparents worked hard all their life to build the community to be what it was. Now, of course, when the crack epidemic came, you know what I'm saying, that kind of deteriorated a lot of things, but that was to no control of our own. That was entrapment, you know what I'm saying? We didn't get the dope here. We didn't learn how to cook it. That was all, systematic. That was systemic oppression. And genocide, for that matter. So now that prosperity came, I feel like the people who endured the worst, most stringent times in these communities deserve to reap the benefits of the prosperity first and foremost. That's why I have a multi-family, mixed-use community development that's, about to break ground over on Bankhead later on this year. About 200 units. About 200 units, 21,000 square feet of retail. So I want to build property. My dream is to build a skyscraper on Bankhead.
Seriously?
Yeah. So, you know what I'm saying? The Harris Towers.
Wow. What do you think out of your career, and we've been watching you grow? The T.I. that I see now is not the T.I. obviously 20 years ago.
Well, the
Although,
Frank Ski that I see now is not the Frank Ski that I knew
Thank you very
20
much.
years ago,
Thank you very much.
Mr. Doodoo Brown.
Come on now. Come on now. So here's the thing. You have now started very responsibly using your social media platform to get people thinking. And you have said some of the best things on social media to get people thinking. But now you're so powerful, dude. Like, you've got such a powerful platform for your thoughts.
I don't even, I put my pants on one leg at a time like everybody else. You know what I'm saying? I always maintain a certain level of humility.
Like you say the best things at the right time. Listen,
I'm a vessel.
Listen,
I'm an instrument.
I was in church with you Sunday with Kanye.
Oh my
When that happened, I thought the same thing, but I'm not going to go into it.
Man.
I just want to say to you, you said what needed to be said.
Because it needed to be said.
Exactly. So what do we have to do to get more of us to think beyond?
Man, first of all,
we're in a bad place in this country, Tip.
First of all,
how do we get better?
We got to understand everything ain't for everybody. You know what I'm saying? And it's going to be some of us who see light at the end of the tunnel and look at that as a destination. And it's others who just going to see light in their eyes amidst darkness. So some people see the fog, others see the destination. So I mean, look, I can't tell you what it takes for everybody. I can tell you what it's going to take for me.
Okay.
And if anybody chooses to follow, then they can do so. And that is to learn and research, ask questions. You have to unlearn and relearn. First of all, you got to know that you've been lied to all your life. Everything that we learned in school, everything that we've been taught, our parents lied to us, not because they wanted to, but because they were lied to as well. So now that this is the information age, stop lying to your children. You know what I mean? Stop lying to your children. Stop celebrating or praising white Jesus when we know the origins of humanity come from black people in Africa. You know what I'm saying? So just you must wake up. You got to wake up. You know what I'm saying? If you refuse to wake up because it's too painful, because it's too much work, because you know what I'm saying, it's too frustrating to you, then you gonna continue to be rocked to sleep like a sheep. But you must unlearn and relearn.
Do you feel religion is the biggest lie told to black folks here in the U.S.?
God is real. I know God is real, not because nobody told me, because I've seen the impact he's had on my life, and I've seen things that nothing else and nobody, no human could have had a hand in affecting. And God did. I know God is real. I feel it. I have my own conversation with him. I have my own relationship with him. Matter of fact, the closest you can get to speaking to God is when you hear your own voice in your head. Because if God gonna speak to you, He's not gonna speak to you in no ominous voice like an echo in the hallway. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? He gonna speak to you. It's gonna be your voice. He gonna speak to you in the most relatable voice that you know, the most familiar voice that you could possibly know, and that's your own. You dig what I'm saying? So my relationship with God does not require a middleman. I don't need nobody to get my prayers to God to patch me through. I don't need nobody to do that. I don't got to go no place, no significant place to do that. I ain't got to pay no money to do that. And anybody who tell me that I do, I know you full of it. Religion is the biggest remote control ever known to man. It's probably the first form of technology. You know what I mean? It's a joystick. If you control people's thoughts, if you get people to come in and sit down and give confessions when they can't see you, but you can see them, you can manipulate them. You can manipulate them. You can play on their emotions. You know what I mean? Whether that's for money, whether that's for personal favors, whether that's for whatever it is. And it's been going on since the beginning of time. You know what I mean? Anytime you got people, say like the Catholic Church or the Vatican, anytime you got people who touch children and have homosexual activity, but then you condemn your congregation for being homosexuals. That tells you right there. And then they say God's word is everlasting. Is God's word not everlasting?
Yeah.
Is God's word not everlasting? Okay, so how do you go in and change the words in the Bible if this is God's word? How is the Bible that is we read today not the same Bible that was written when it was written back in biblical times?
Right.
If God's word is everlasting. Now you said God's word was everlasting. And also, you know, it says there's no way through the Father but through me. No way to the Father but through me. But he also say God is a jealous God. So which one is it? Are we gonna represent Jesus and God? Or is God a jealous God and we only supposed to represent God? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
because it's the Trinity, because they're really both one and the same.
Well, see, that ain't what it said. It didn't say one and the same. It says the only way to the Father is through me.
Yeah.
So that's a separation. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's a lot of contradictions. But, you know, I feel like you're supposed to pray for affirmation. You're supposed to pray for understanding before you even open up a Bible. You know, which is what I do. That's why whenever I open it, it always affects me and what I'm going through right then at the time. But I do know it is used as a remote control to control emotions and to control and direct people's thoughts, opinions, and actions.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, there it is right there. Woo!
Yeah.
Woo! I need to open some opus with you right now. That's
Man,
what
come on, man.
Good glass in the morning. Not too late.
Come on,
too
why
early.
not? Hey, and look, and also, everybody who condemn the sinners, listen, Jesus said in the Bible, he not here to save the righteous, he here to save the wicked. And Jesus ran with nothing but gangsters and thugs and people like, you know, let's say people from the life.
Yeah.
So all of you holier than thous, you dig what I'm saying? Jesus will not be walking with y'all. He'll be walking with us.
All right, Tip. Listen, rhythm and flow. Tip, T.I. Harris. Listen, here's how it's going down. 4 episodes tomorrow, 3 episodes on the 16th, 3 episodes on the 23rd. Make sure you check it out on Netflix. That is where you get it. Always a pleasure, homie.
You did.
I appreciate you, man.